Hey ladies, it's Marciea here with another episode of Lady Strong Fitcast. Today I have Jennifer with Fzical Advanced Therapy in Schaumburg, which is located just a couple doors down from us. Today we're going to be talking about self-care.
So the big question is this: how were two women who didn't cheat and purchase a gym franchise model, how were they able to spread their mission and purpose by empowering and transforming hundreds of women's lives through fitness, nutrition, mindset, and accountability with a micro gym business model of women only? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. We are Lady Strong Fitness.
Jennifer, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. So what's funny is that you and I were just talking, and we were talking about the name of the company because it's spelled with an F as in Frank versus a P as in Paul. So that's very unique, to say the least. Before we begin talking about self-care, I just want you to talk a little bit about the actual practice that you work for and direct.
Sure. Yes, I'm a physical therapist by background, and our company Fzical treats patients of all different conditions, but we specialize in balance. So we have a unique balance system called the Body Track that we use on patients to determine what balance deficits they have and how we can help them with their overall health.
Got it. Now that's kind of different. That's very unique, to say the least, because a lot of people that come to that type of practice is just kind of, it's not balanced, right? You guys definitely have a niche. So how is it, is physicians actually prescribing them to come pay you a visit, or how do you find your clientele? How does that work?
So we've got a great sales team. They go out in the area, search for physicians, but it's funny. We've had a lot of walk-ins, just random people on the street walking in. You don't need a physician's order. So we can take patients off the street walking in, and they see our sign, they see the balance aspect, and they're in.
That's really cool. So for someone that doesn't know anything about physical balance, anything of that nature, explain a little bit, go more in depth into the meat and potatoes, like try to paint a picture for them, for our audience that's listening in today.
Sure. Yeah. So any patient can come in, again, with or without a doctor's order. And what we do is a comprehensive exam. We look at your whole body, like your strength, your balance, and we kind of see what deficits, if any, that you have. And from there, we prescribe exercises, and we have patients come in 2 to 3 times a week just to work on overall health and balance.
Very cool. Do you find that, based on your observations and doing the diagnosis, that's something that's more common versus the others?
It's hard to say. We see people of all ages. So a lot of, older people come in just with age-related balance deficits, but we do have a younger population, like athletes, where we find that, hey, they're not only here for a knee injury, but they also could benefit from some balance exercises too.
Got it. Love it. Now, I would assume, based upon what their weaknesses are, is there a specific time or duration that you prescribe for them, or how does that work? Or is it just kind of like, you can come in whenever you have the time? What do you advise for something like that?
Like you said, it does vary, but our general rule, we do about 2 to 3 times a week for a month or two. After a month, we always do a reassessment. We kind of check in and see where the patient is. And if we want to do more, we request more, via their doctor, or we just kind of submit a note and say, hey, let's do some more.
Sure. What's discouraging, to say the least, is that I wish more people would treat this type of practice, such as like upkeep, like cleaning your teeth. We all know how important it is to clean your teeth, right? And I wish the same way was treated when it comes to these types of things. So what do you advise for people when it comes to stuff like that?
So overall wellness, right? So you got to take care of yourself, whether that means exercise, diet, talk to your doctor, see what you need to be doing as far as your regular checkups for blood pressure. But from a physical therapy standpoint, we teach patients overall general exercises that they can do for lifelong. And a lot of our patients come in once or twice a year, and we call them tune-ups. So they come in just to check in, kind of see how they're doing. And if we want to do more visits, great. If not, we say, hey, you're doing great. You're good to go. We'll see you in 6 months. So it's good you got to have that check-in with yourself, but also with your providers.
For sure. 100%. Now let's keep confidentiality aside, but if you can share maybe a success story that you guys have had in your company where working with a patient and where they started versus where they are today.
Sure. Yeah. We've had patients come in with back pain. Actually, it's very common, obviously. Right. So, but what we do is we not only look at that, we do the Body Track balance assessment on them. So we've had patients come in, a couple in the past few weeks, who do their assessment, and then a month from there we do it again, and we've seen some great outcomes in regards to their improvements in their balance. It's pretty neat to see. So we look at the whole body. We don't just look at the back.
Got it. Now, elaborate a little bit more. When you say body track, what are you
Mhm.
exactly referencing?
That's the general name. So what it is, it's a computerized program. Patients stand on a force plate, and we take them through 6 different tests of their balance. So it measures their visual aspect of balance. We call it the somatosensory aspect, which is the feeling on your feet when you stand, and then your vestibular system, which is your inner ear equilibrium balance. So we look at all 3 conditions via 6 tests.
Is that an actual, can they see real life time in person, or how does that work? Is there some sort of metrics that they can see in person? Like, wow, I'm really bad right now.
Yeah, so it's cool. After we're done, we get a printout and we show them the 3 different systems. We show them exactly where they had problems, and then it helps us because then we can comprise a home exercise program based on that.
I really like that. Do you guys do anything virtual? Just curious.
We are getting more into that. Our clinic here doesn't have it specifically, but other clinics do have virtual reality systems where patients wear the goggles and everything and they do exercises. We just don't have it at our specific clinic yet.
That's very cool. Not yet.
Yeah,
Hopefully
not
soon
yet.
to come. Yeah. So again,
Yeah.
for ladies that are tuning in, you guys are just located a couple doors down from Lady Strong Fitness, and perhaps even expanding in the near future with other locations.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you have to offer as far as complimentary or, a promo or a discount for our audience that's tuning in today?
Sure, we do free injury screenings. What that means is if you have a very fresh new injury, we can do a screening. Now, it's not a full physical therapy assessment, but we do a screening and we help you determine, yes, you'll need some therapy or just rest, or wow, you need more medical attention, go see your doctor sort of thing. So yes, we do offer free injury screenings here.
I love that. Walk-ins, no problem.
Yep.
Appointments necessary, or walk-ins are just welcome?
Walk-ins are welcome. Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfectly fine.
What are you guys' hours?
So right now we're doing kind of staggered. We want to be open kind of late on 2 nights. So Monday and Wednesday are 10 to 7, Tuesday, Thursday, 8 to 5, and then Friday is 7 to 4.
Love it. Now, is it just you that's there, or do you have other people within your facility? When people come in, will they be greeted by you or somebody else?
So they'll be greeted by our lovely office staff, Donna. She sits up front, and then it's myself, the physical therapist, and then John, who's another physical therapist that works here.
Gotcha. What's the best way for people to reach out to you guys? Do you guys have like a website or phone number or something that was best for our ladies to come in if they can't walk in?
Sure, we've got the Fzical website. If you go right on there, press locations, and go right to Schaumburg, and all of our contact information is there, phone number and email. That'd probably be the best way. Find us online and then give us a call.
Love it. And then if you could just provide that domain name, if you know it, just because it is unique, it's spelled differently. So that way people that are maybe driving in their car, they can take some mental notes.
Sure, yeah. So Fzical, it's spelled Fyizical, Fzical.
Love it.
And
do you know the number by any chance? I'm really testing you today.
It is 847-908-3329.
Love it. Very cool. And how long does that complimentary session take, the diagnosis or whatever you guys, the first initial, is it, an hour, 45 minutes, 30?
So if you're coming in for just the free injury screening, very quick, it'll be about 15 minutes.
Okay.
If you're coming in with either a doctor's order or you want to walk in and do actual physical therapy, that'll be an hour.
Got it. And here's another thing too that I would like to tap on is that people necessarily don't come to you unless they start experiencing issues. And my advice is to take preventative actions and to do things beforehand. Let's talk about that a little bit. So what would be your advice to that?
Yeah, I mean, we are so much getting into that now. I mean, we've talked about that with our staff, and even just therapy in general. So we want patients to come in before you have your injuries, right? So a lot of our patients come in once a year just for what we call like a wellness check. We just do an overall kind of assessment, strength, balance, looking at everything. And we recommend, hey, you might be weak in these areas. You might want to keep an eye on that, and we can give some exercises. So yeah, those wellness checks every year are really, really important.
That. Very cool. So ladies, if you're tuning in, even though you don't have anything wrong with you, get that wellness check done. So I love that. Do you have any advice, Jennifer, that you would like to provide our audience that's tuning in today?
I'd say just, take care of yourself. Your body is a precious thing, right? So not only the physical part, but just eat healthy, stay on top of your exercise, and get your regular checkups that you need depending on your age.
I love that. Very cool. I really do appreciate you coming on today. I'm hoping that the ladies that are tuning in, they'll take advantage of that complimentary session there as well. With that being said, ladies, thank you so much for tuning in of another episode of Lady Shrunk Big Cast. Have an amazing day, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Take care. Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you like this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel or find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or whatever your favorite place is to listen to podcasts. And if you really liked this episode, please leave a review for us on iTunes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.